Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now, today I want to talk about Jasmy and give a quick update of what's going on there, because we have actually had some pretty exciting news come out. And so I wanted to cover that mostly and then go over just kind of the project generally, take a look at the chart, do some of that type of stuff. So anyway, let's go on and talk some tokens. So starting out, looking at crypto bubbles, what we can see is obviously, pretty strong day in the market overall. A little bit surprisingly, it is actually behind my picture, but pretty surprisingly, the Jasmy token's only up about 0.5%. So definitely not keeping up with some of the larger gainers in the space, but that's sometimes how it goes. Frankly, I mean, we haven't really seen much retail interest or price action on Jasmy in the past couple of weeks or so. And so I think kind of the space that Jasmy's sitting at right now is there's just not a lot going on. But what we can or what we do know is that when it starts to catch some traction, it can really explode. And so we'll take a look at the chart and kind of see how that could potentially look. But for right now, at least, pretty strong day in the market overall. Things are looking good. The overall crypto market has been very, very strong. And so, it's obviously looking to kind of continue that trend. It does actually look like, October might be here. So, it'll be interesting to kind of see how this plays out the rest of the month. But at least so far through this month, things are looking good. The next thing I want to take a look at, since we are talking about an altcoin, is I did want to kind of look at the altcoin season index. And what we can see is we actually have moved down and we are now back in Bitcoin season. So even with the market moving kind of up across the board like it has, it is still kind of favored Bitcoin, and alts are kind of more weakly positioned against Bitcoin than they were even just at a month ago at this point, or less than a month ago. And so this is something, in my opinion, I would actually say that this is really, really bullish, because we're seeing the entire market move up, yet we're running further away from an altcoin season, which means that some of the gains we could potentially be looking to see could be a little bit ridiculous, which would be awesome. And so this is something that I do kind of keep a relatively close-ish eye on, just to see kind of where we're at overall. So I think this does also help explain some of what we're seeing with Jasmy's price too. We can see this is on the the daily candles. This goes all the way back to about middle of March. As we can see over the past about month or so, nothing really too special has really happened with Jasmy. And so I think that kind of speaks to the lack of interest and kind of maybe a lot of retail investors kind of going away. I do think it is a little bit funny that usually at least it seems to me, people would rather watch their bags get wrecked than watch their bags do nothing, which I think is kind of a little bit entertaining. But that's kind of what it looks like, right? I mean, price is held relatively well at this key level of support. It's kind of consolidating. Nothing really too crazy has really happened ever since kind of the beginning of August, when we had that massive sell-off. Ever since then, it's kind of ranged between, this support at kind of 0.24 or like 2.4 cents, I guess I should say, and about 1.8 cents. And even really more recently, within the past couple of weeks, it's been, kind of between 2 cents and 1.8 cents. So, definitely some very consolidated price action. If we go back and kind of look a little bit more historically on the chart, we can see here, I mean, we basically kind of did not really a whole lot of anything from like the end of February to like the middle of May. This was like a whole 3-month area where kind of just nothing really special happened, and then boom, it pops, right? Same thing if we go back kind of before this pop happened. I mean, this is a whole ton of time where basically nothing happened, right? I mean, we can look at, almost a year worth of time, basically between the 12th of May 2023 to like the 18th of February 2024. So this is like an entire 9-month spread where nothing really too special happened, right? And then boom, we have this massive run up. So obviously, I mean, none of us love to see kind of the nothing happening, right? Which is why so many people leave. And this is why I think it's important that, we stay around and we stay engaged, just because this eventually, probably, again, not financial advice, I don't actually know it's going to happen, but eventually I think this is going to, we might be seeing something like this. And so, keep patient, make sure we're staying involved with kind of the developments within the Jasmy ecosystem, all that type of stuff. And kind of on that note, we do actually have a development in the Jasmy ecosystem, which is Junction is now live, which is really, really good news. Junction is like the AI, kind of like they're following in the footsteps of like, Render or Akash or those types of projects where you can essentially like, kind of crowdsource or like a computing cloud for AI, which obviously, this is big business. There's a lot of projects that with really strong market caps that do this. And so, this is obviously a really, really good development for the Junction team. Looking through, we can see that the website overall actually does look pretty professional. It looks really nice overall. If we look at explore, we can also see that they have nodes running. We can see they have only onboarded 36 total nodes, 5 of them are live, but we have seen 161 compute hours. So, I mean, this isn't even a week old. And so, we are seeing use coming from it still. We are seeing nodes onboarded. We are seeing nodes active. Like, this is good. Obviously, we're going to be looking to see kind of all of these numbers grow. Live nodes as a percent of total nodes, we want to see kind of go up, I would say. Total compute hours, obviously, we want to see go up, and total nodes as well. So, but overall, this is looking pretty good. We can see from the node overview, almost everything is Android. We do have, one Linux, but most everything that we're seeing here is Android. If we go and look at getting started, same type of thing. They've got a really good like overview of kind of what this is, how it works, all this type of stuff, how they're essentially like building this platform to work. The only thing that I haven't seen, which is a little bit of a, maybe not necessarily a concern, but it does give me questions, is we don't really see anything about how Junction like relates into the Jasmy ecosystem, or more importantly the Jasmy coin, because I think a lot of us are invested in the coin to make money. I would imagine probably 99.9% of us are, and we were all kind of, at least I was, and if you weren't, then like please feel free to drop that in the comment section below. But I was at least kind of expecting to see that this was going to be kind of linked to Jasmy in somewhat of a more direct way, especially if we look at like, I think it's the Explorer, actually no, it might be the Home. If we look at kind of like the how it works type of thing, we can see like there's this like overall like layer of how this stuff works. Like, how do you pay for all this stuff, right? I would have expected that it probably would have been in Jasmy, or Jasmy would have been in some way facilitated in this, but we don't really see any mention of that, which is one thing that I'm kind of a little bit interested to kind of hear more about. So anyway, that's kind of the overall kind of high level overview of the Junction platform. It does actually look pretty good. Obviously, kind of the majority of the work is ahead of it in terms of actually establishing product market fit, getting people onboarded, getting like service hours up, or compute hours up, like that type of stuff. That's what's really important. And so anyway, we kind of have some stuff to track here, but overall, as I've kind of said before, just because we don't necessarily hear a lot from the Jasmy team doesn't mean they're not doing anything. Like, obviously they've been working. They finally, shipped some of these things that they've been talking about, and it's come at a really great time, right? I mean, the market's really starting to show some signs of life, and this is a great time to be also showing some signs of life from a development perspective. This is a lot of good news that a lot of people could use and be investing based on. So obviously that would be really good for us. So anyway, if you had any questions, concerns, comments, anything like that, please do drop in the comment section below. I do try to read and respond to all of them. Also, if you did find this information helpful and useful, please do give us a like and subscribe. It really does help us out. We're trying to bring kind of an overall overview of the market and just various tokens and how things are doing, and hopefully it's kind of a nice like kind of a nice pool to draw from in terms of like different tokens that we're talking about and how we're approaching them and different things like that. So anyway, if you have any, again, comments or anything like that on how we can improve or do better, anything like that, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, I was showing you my Margex account. We do have a link to Margex if you do want to be trading leverage. On Jasmy, you can trade up to 25x leverage. So if you do want to be trading, potentially some of this upcoming volatility, now would be a good time to, get an account set up and started and all that type of stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.